Welcome to Get Your Mind Right, the podcast where merchant services, digital marketing, and personal growth collide. Tune in for real talk, fresh insights, and the motivation to level up.
Good morning, John Johnson here, and welcome to Get Your Mind Right. And back with me today is Jerry Faith.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Jerry.
Thank you for having me, John.
Well, it's good to have you back again.
I appreciate it. Love being on the show.
Third time on the show?
Third time's a charm.
Third time. Well, after the first two.
Yeah. We didn't crash the internet, so we're good.
Well, thanks for coming back on here, Jerry. I tell you why I'm having you on here today is I heard you speak recently on networking. And you hit a lot of really strong notes on this, a lot of things that I personally have strong feelings about. And I really liked your riff on that today.
Thank you. No, it was, I enjoyed that session and to share some experiences to help people expand their network. You know, when you're in sales, you've got to go out and produce, you got to harvest, you got to find, you got to hunt, but a lot of people don't know the rhythm or how to navigate and build a network.
Uh-huh.
And the end goal is, obviously, unless you just absolutely love cold calling for a living, ideally you want to get some referrals.
Right.
Maybe some strategic partnerships to help feed you those leads. But you can't meet them when you're just calling on businesses if that's what you do for a living and pulling doors on the phone. You have to go out and network.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. So let's really dive into this. And I've got some notes here I made from hearing you talk. And you got some foundational concepts here, and like one of the things is what do you notice that most people get completely wrong about networking and or referrals?
Sure. Well, for one, a lot of folks are scared of it, so they may not even participate or go.
What are they scared of?
Maybe they're scared of having to be in a room full of strangers, talking to people, being uncomfortable. Various reasons, but a lot of people won't go. Or then if they do go, they don't have a plan or a system, much like a prospecting plan, right? If I'm in sales and I'm calling on, in my background, calling on businesses, I need to have some sort of plan and a way to track it and know results and how to tweak and go. Well, networking is the same thing. It's a prospecting experience is what you're after. And a lot of people don't understand or do that. A lot of times when they go to a show, say they go to a Chamber of Commerce after hours mixer, and the room's packed with people, they likely will gravitate to friends or someone they kind of know.
Right.
Well, that's not expanding your network.
No, it's not. I'm terrible at that, by the way.
You're not there just to enjoy the free food.
Yeah.
It's a business activity, and so having a system in place to go where you can actually get results out of it is the mindset we want to help people with.
It was. I agreed with that. We've got a fantastic chamber here. They've got the business exchange, right? And I met some people, and there, as you might guess, there's some big personalities in there, and that during their very structured networking section, I would like gravitate towards these people that I already knew, right? And it was it's hard for me to break from that.
45 minutes later,
yeah,
I've talked to the same three people that are
and it's over.
And it's done.
Yeah, I haven't got anything done. Yeah, that's tough. So Jerry, how do you balance between being direct and being respectful of someone's time when you're meeting them?
You just got to snap in, dive into it, John. So, no, it's a process in place. So, like whenever you're networking, think about like you have to have your pitch in place, for example. So I've got an elevator pitch. It's designed no different than an elevator, small space, people in and out, only have limited time.
Right.
How can I go boom, boom, boom effectively? And
how many seconds does it take to get to between floors?
Right. It depends, And so
you're not going to give me anything today.
Not today. And so to have that going into a networking event, I've got a pitch in mind I'm going to use. That pitch is going to involve, who I am, what I do, and why do people work with me. So I'm a little bit different. But then I have to start out the conversation. This is another thing people make a mistake for. You need to be comfortable walking up to a stranger and be like, "Excuse me, sir, what do you do for a living?" Because I want them to reciprocate, right?
Right.
So now I can identify, I'm working that first prospect in a room, with the purpose behind the scenes here is to qualify or disqualify. Is this a prospect for me? So in a few minutes, maybe faster than that, I've determined, is there a potential fit or not?
Yeah.
And if not, hey, John, it's very nice to meet you. If you don't mind, I've got several people in this room I'm trying to get in front of. I'll catch up with you soon. Thank you. Next. So I'm moving. I'm staying moving. It's no different in sales. They talk about when the conversation, you got to keep things moving. So your networking event, you're still doing that. It's just a different type of sale format.
Now, Jerry, I've heard you talk about this elevator pitch a lot. What do you consider to be the key components of that elevator pitch?
It's a great question, John. So I'm using years of being around different sales trainers and things in my career and kind of bringing together what I feel and think is the best. And so there's an old saying, whatever your competition is doing, do differently. I believe that. So you sound different, act different, look different, which goes back to an elevator pitch. Think of it as the short and sweet one is again, who I am, what do I do, why do people work with me?
Why does it matter?
And that way I sound much different. And when I give that example why people work with me, I'm sharing with really like I worked with John because I helped him, and I worked with this one because, so take those like common things that I do for businesses, say for example, and those three things are tied in there.
Now, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I really like those elements there. Do you use that today in your job?
I do.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I work with sales agents or sales office owners who are frustrated with trying to navigate their way through payments with all the processors, the games they play, and things behind the scenes. And at the end of the day, you find yourself living the business, not growing the business. But John, I don't know if you experience any of those.
Yeah. And what's cool is it's the same infrastructure, the same architecture that you've always used.
Same architecture.
You're just plugging in different
because
contracts.
it revolves around what was happening in their world and how did I apply a solution.
Yeah.
That's why people work with me.
Yeah.
I'm not selling the lowest price if I'm selling something that has a cost, right? I'm not selling the lowest price. I'm not selling on just all of my features and benefits. I'm letting people know that people work with me because I do this.
Yes. Yeah, and you're doing I'm telling you something you already know here, but you're doing again what your competition is not. Matter of fact, you're doing the opposite of that.
Exactly.
Right, and these things that you're talking about, they're timeless. They're not dependent upon technology or some new methodology or something come along and replace it. There's always going to be a need for these things that you're talking about.
Absolutely, and in that initial conversation, remember that the person on the other end, what is it, 7 to 10 seconds? They're making up their mind. Are they going to listen to you, tune you out, blow you off?
Right.
And so I do have to sound different. And hopefully I get an interest piqued. Or maybe one of my 3 things of why clients work with me resonated because they're experiencing that.
Yeah.
So now I've established bonding and rapport really. And
right off the bat.
And a qualified prospect.
In the space of one floor.
And this could be in my sales process, what I do for a living in selling businesses, or this could be in my networking, because that's the process too, just like
you touched on this tangentially a second ago. You talked about pain points. So give me some examples that you really look to hit on pain points early on in your career today.
Yeah, so I'll dial back. Most of us in the payment industry have very little training. And it's unfortunate. Training's much better today. I know that we do a great job of it, and some of our competitors do, but there's still a missing gap in so many areas out there that people have. And by default, you start going the path of least resistance, and say if it's the merchant industry, then it's all about, I can save you money. Well, we all sound alike saying that, right? The reality is, what did I do for this business? Did I streamline operations? Did I improve cash flow? Did I eliminate other pain points in the business? So that sounds different, than I just saved the money.
Yeah. What else?
Well, you can dive deeper in your pain points too, because sometimes the prospect, say for example, didn't listen, or maybe they're following the whole thing of like they've already, I don't want to get sold today, in their mindset, right? And blocking you, and so you have to repeat things, but maybe in a different pattern. So if I did my introduction, and I did deliver like 3 things of why customers like to work with me, and say for example, John, you're the prospect, and you're giving this look like, no. Well, hey John, another reason why people work with me, and I'm going to present a broader menu of things.
Yeah.
Again, it's all coming out of my tackle box, right? I have all this bait, and I'm looking for something for you to nibble and bite into.
Gotcha.
Again, without sounding like my competitors.
Yes. So you keep bringing that up, not sound like your competitors. Do you feel like you've trained yourself to that now, or that's part of your hardwiring now? Or?
It is, yeah.
So you don't really have to think about it much anymore?
No, but when I first kind of learned that concept years ago, it was new. And so you do have to program yourself, because it's just not a normal way you think to do business, right? Because it is easier to fall back on, what's easy, which is something's free, or look, I can save you money, or I've got the greatest POS because it does, bells and whistles and all kinds of stuff.
Well, so let's double click on that, because early on in my sales career, I did all those stupid bad salesman tricks, right, and those bad habits. Mine is whiz bang ear and bells and whistling.
Flashy words.
Yes, and it's cheaper on top of it, right?
Save
And that was
save you money.
Save you money, right? And it was I was a hard head and on this to a bit, but pretty early on, I actually bought off on the fact that there's a better way to do this. And once I saw that in action, I mean, there was no going back, right? I didn't need any more convincing.
In this type of style that you start using, right? Again, whether I'm networking, trying to meet people, or I'm out selling, I'm really qualifying them, and I'm identifying people that fit into my world. If you think about it, it's very selfish, right? Because these are things I'm doing really well. I know these are things my customers really love about what I did for them. So it should work for you if you're experiencing any of those.
Yeah.
So I've qualified, it's a better fit, conversation definitely moves better, and likely actually close really quick and easy.
I will go back to something you said. You said that people go with this, cheaper and freer and all that stuff because it's easier. I mean, I'll submit to you that's harder to do because you sound just like everyone else. I mean, how do I break through, cut through all the noise when everyone says that they're better and they're cheaper?
Yeah, having a really good commercial, your elevator pitch.
Okay. Is there a difference between a commercial and an elevator pitch?
There is, John. So your elevator pitch, think of that elevator, small space, short amount of time. A commercial is just that. On television, we have 30-second commercials. TikTok might be faster, but still in the aspect of whether I'm calling on the phone, or I'm out pulling doors face to face, or I'm walking in that chamber networking event, that mixer. I need to be prepared to have a short elevator pitch because the situation might require a short version. Or I might have my commercials, so I have 30 seconds, just like commercial on television, to expand into who I am, what I do for a living, why do customers love and work with me. And then learning, through practice, right, it starts sounding more natural. So the more it sounds like the real me, that applies to the bonding and rapport, because people like to do business, people they like, therefore they trust and they believe. So I don't sound robotic, I don't sound cumbersome. It's a very flowing, natural conversation, and it works.
It does. So I'm going to throw two phrases at you, and I'm just going to let you talk. You ready?
Go for it.
Chinese menu and paint hooks. Go.
All right, so Chinese menu. Some great sales coaches showed me this. Think about a Chinese restaurant or takeout, and looking online at the ordering or the old paper menu, whatever it might be, right? At the end of the day, it is the same proteins and vegetables, right? It's just a variety of flavors make the dish. But when you go there, it's a lot. Right? Well, the same way, if you think about your paint hooks, we use the term paint hooks. There's a lot of sales coaches that use that. You want to uncover really businesses to change or do something because of what they're experiencing in pain levels, right? Whether it's financially or personally or both.
All right.
And it impacts their business. So therefore, it's a logical change while they're doing it. So if I can incorporate 3 of my major pain points, right? Reasons why customers chose to work with me, and that prospect still doesn't bite on it, and I'm not getting a response, conversation is not moving, I'm going to unveil a Chinese menu. So John, here are other reasons why customers really enjoy working with me, because they were experiencing, and I start going through my list. It might be 3 more, it might be 5 more. That's where you just have all this recorded, right, and you can play it back. So now I've got another attempt to try to get their attention. Are they possibly experiencing anything I just mentioned, or would they know someone who is if it's a networking event? Does it resonate? And now can the conversation keep moving? And if not, I found a way to disqualify this person, all within 30 to 60 seconds. We're either moving forward or we're done. That's a real nice thing to have, right? If I'm at a networking event, I just freed up time to go do something else. Or if I've qualified this person, I'm not here to sell anything today, right? We just established there's a reason we should talk. When's a good time after this event for us to go on the calendar and do so? So again, looking for the future so I can continue working the room. no different than if you're out selling and yeah, you made an appointment or you close a deal. Do you sit down at 11 a.m. or do you continue working that day? Hopefully you continue working that day. So there's more out there. It's a networking event. Same thing.
So you said you'd heard this in sales training before, Chinese menu? I'd never heard that one.
Yep.
Yeah, who gets credit for that?
Probably like through trademarks and stuff. I can't give out names. But excellent coaches. How's that?
Okay. What blind mellow jelly was it?
No. But he still has some of my records.
Okay. I hear he's quite the artist, actually.
Very good. It's hard to find.
Well, let's move on to whalers, fictional characters, and sea captains.
Very good.
Tell me about your Harpoon.
So the Harpoon, your last effort, right?
Last effort
in that sales process or that at a networking event, you're trying to move forward the conversation. So if you break it down systematically, I gave my 30-second commercial. Didn't really get a bite. I said my wonderful Chinese menu with all my options.
I don't like Chinese.
Exactly. Wasn't hungry today. Okay. I'm gonna, just like the whaler ship, the old days, I'm gonna fire that big harpoon. Bang, one time. Now this might be something I've said earlier, just a little harder hitting. But it's one ditch effort, hey John, I don't suppose, then I'm gonna fire that question. And again, it might trigger them to be like, well, yeah, or nope. All right, we're to swallow. Thank you, perfect. And then you can throw in a little Columbo technique after that. If anybody remembers that television show.
You're dating yourself here.
Yeah, well, I learned this. So then you can even throw that. We haven't got there yet, but that's like just one more thing.
One more thing before I leave. Yeah.
And that does work. I've done that, and I've taught sales reps to do that, and it has worked. It just, a lot of it is your comfort level. You talk a lot about get your mind right and conviction. This is it too, right? You're not gonna be able to do this if you don't practice.
Yeah.
You have to practice your pitches. You have to. I encourage people to get in front of the mirror, record yourself, listen to yourself, your tone, your body language, so that it flows.
It's funny you brought that up because that was the next point I was going to make here is that these techniques work really well for you. Your tone is really steady. You're a little more quiet, and you can make these harder edge statements. But you got a soft voice, a soft delivery, and you get away with that, right? It's like I've been told a few times in my life I have a tone issue, so I have to be very careful with that.
So it's by design through sales, right? Over time and through coaching and something like you realize, but if I start out like at a pitch like this, and as I start getting serious, I'm getting like this and coming down.
Yeah.
Actually pulling you in to the audible, right? Because you're having to lean in a little bit more to hear what I'm saying. Maybe talk a little bit slower, a little more seriously. It works to get their attention.
Yeah, that works well for you. No doubt about it.
It's all the process. Think about. I heard this a lot in my career. They always said that. Well, you look at Michael Jordan. Look at these athletes, right? They practice every day. Well, in sales, we should still practice every day. Whether you talk to yourself in the car,
it's training.
At home, you're doing for a walk. I find myself practicing pitches and commercials. It's kind of fun exercise, way to tweak and get better. And it's also okay when you mess up with a prospect, right? Because it's real. It's funny, Mom. I'm sorry about that. One of those days, and then right back at my commercial. Because a commercial and the pitch also will always give you something to fall back on. Because any given time a conversation can go sideways or whichever.
Or you get lost.
Yeah. And
I've always got a home base to go back to.
Something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Hey, John, the purpose is we were talking about clients work with me because.
Yeah. So, Jerry, I know you work a number of shows and networking events. You have some sort of physical or mental checklist you go through before you embark on one of these?
Usually get a Slim Jim, get an energy drink. I do kind of.
Actually, you can't see this, but there's an energy drink on the floor, so he's not lying.
I do. I think everybody in sales should have some sort of thing that pumps them up and gets them excited, right? Because life happens. You might be tired that day. You might have this or that distraction. You do have to kind of get into the role.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When I'm in that situation, I either listen to Van Halen or one of my own podcasts.
Sure. So when I'm prospecting, say on social media and stuff like that, I'll fire up some music on the earbuds.
Or my podcast.
Definitely podcast. But usually that's when I'm at the gym. It gives them that extra incentive, like to go a little harder, or dance class.
Dance class, yes. So what do you see common mistakes people make, even stone cold veterans in this business
Sure.
at networking and shows and just any opportunity to expand their business circle?
Yeah, so regardless, people try to sell when it's not the time to sell. If I'm in a networking event, you're not there to close a deal. You're there to expand your network.
So why do you think they make that mistake? I mean, I've seen that too,
What's the expression?
and they should know better.
Commission breath.
Can't read the room.
Yeah, have patience at a networking event, right? I mean, it's different when you're actually making a sales call and you do come across a one call close. That's great. Close it, get the business, move on. But a networking event, respect it, right? It's a giver's gain. You're there to learn, give, expand your base. Because ideally, you want to uncover within a room. There could be a prospect for you that you'll do business with one day. Ideally, you're going to meet someone who can be a referral partner to help get you more business one day. Those relationships have to, evolve and grow out of it, right? It's not going to happen instantly. So once you work the room and you've got your business cards, much like if I was out pulling doors today, I've got my notes on my cards. I've got my key ones I want to start following up with. So after the show, here's post-show activities, right? I have another game plan. I'm going to follow on these people. And I have my notes. So in this message to John, I'll remember, hey, John, we were talking about, and clients work with me because,
Right.
I don't suppose we can schedule some time to talk. And start that out in an email push. Okay, I didn't get a response, or I did. If I got a response, call them up, set that time, run the appointment. If I didn't, okay, I can send out another email, and then I'll start calling those. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to qualify, disqualify, just like you do in sales. And if I'm at a networking event, and again, my background is merchant services, so I say I uncover a CPA. He's a local bookkeeper. He's been doing it for 20 years. He's got 500 local customers. Well, he's not going to give me the keys to his car day one. I've got to kind of earn his respect. So I need to set aside time to meet with him, whether we get a cup of coffee, whether it be in person. John, tell me about your business. Why do customers work with you? Right? Again, I'm setting the stage for him to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it first.
Yep.
Tell them why people work with me. Hopefully there's synergies.
Do you always try to go first in these type of deals?
I want them to talk, yeah.
Yeah.
I will often
Plus, you're setting the stage and you're greasing the skids
A
here.
lot of times I'll just let them know, hey, John, if you don't mind, I'd like a small agenda for our meeting. The purpose of our meeting is a chance for me to learn more about what you do for a living, why customers like working with you. If you don't mind, I'll share with you why customers work for me and what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of our meeting, hey, either we're good friends, maybe we've identified reasons we should possibly talk again, maybe there's opportunities to do business together, I don't know. But you okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Very good. I like that. So Jerry, I know you also talked about strategic partnerships on this. This is a little bit different animal here, but using a lot of the same principles that you've already laid out here.
Mm-hmm.
In your mind, what really are some key attributes of a really great strategic partner?
Someone who can be held accountable and commits.
Okay.
That, so again, I've used merchant, that's my background, so I'm looking for businesses who could use my merchant services, what I do, right?
Right.
And so I need, and there's verticals I'm probably better at than others.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say my past life, it was restaurants, right? So I want to meet strategic partners who's very similar to me, that their vertical is restaurants. And say, identify one. Maybe it is that CPA that he specializes in. He does all the bookkeeping for 20 local restaurants in my town. Okay, now we've got similar verticals, synergies going on. Next would be, in our conversations, do we uncover the fact that we can have accountability? Meaning, if it's that you're comfortable to give me leads, what are they going to look like? How often are we going to receive these? How often can you and I communicate? Can we dedicate once a month or every bi-weekly, or is it weekly that we're going to meet, just touch base?
Whatever that is, there's really not a wrong answer.
No,
there.
you're setting, again, an agenda and a process for what's going to happen after the sale. And people fail at that because you have to set expectations. If I was working with a bank and the bank wants to do business with me and I'm being merchant service to that bank, we need to set a plan of what's going to happen after the contract, right? What's this look like? How often can we meet? What do leads look like? Can we identify what's a cold lead versus a warm lead? I prefer a hot lead. Can I share with you what that is? So you have to train that partner because they may not know. They may be the type of person, here's a card, that's a cold call. I can get that information anywhere.
Yeah.
I want a hot lead. Hey John, do you mind to reach out to that person for me? Would love if you could do that. Sure, but if you don't ask, they're not gonna do it. You have to train them on that.
Yeah.
And then you want to be able to reciprocate. A great relationship and a strategic partnership is I give something back too.
Right.
Okay, meaning
It's got to be a two-way deal.
Right, whether it's that I'm introducing them to clients and helping them grow their business, because it's about can we grow each other's business? And if I don't have the opportunities to give them that, maybe what I do for a living is more like I provide them a financial way to grow their business.
Right.
Okay. Again, everyone, what they do for a living might be different, but that's how you apply it.
I like the word you used there. You said train, because everyone likes referrals. They like have doing someone a turn and hopefully getting that favor returned, right? But that training, that's effectively what you're doing here, because most people don't have any idea of what this should look like.
No.
And you don't have to use that word training, but just saying, hey, here's what's worked well for me in the past.
Thank you.
That in its own is something really valuable you're offering to that person.
Thank you. And a process a lot of people forget, just in sales in general, once they close the deal, what happens after that?
Yeah.
Once I establish a strategic partnership, what happens after that?
Right. Now what?
Yeah.
So
expectations and commitments.
I'm getting a chuckle because when I wrote this down, I'd have chuckled when you said it. But Jerry, you've got a very clear delineation between a cool, a cold, and a warm lead, and there seems to be a lot of confusion out there on what that is.
So a cold lead is someone hands you a business card, or they just give you a name and a phone number. All right. Again, I can source that information without your help.
Right.
I appreciate it, but you really got me nowhere. Warm lead is that same information, but maybe they have a little insight. Yeah, the person's like, I know they're looking for a point of sale system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can still source that same information. It's probability are they are not looking for it. But you help me. But a hot lead is that information. And John, since you know them, do you mind can we jump on a call real quick, see if we can reach them? Oh, we got a voicemail. Can we shoot them a text? Hey, I'm standing with my friend Jerry. I'd like to introduce you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
Yeah.
Right, because now instantly there's some trust going on because their connections are close and they're recommending me to them. Now, haven't closed the deal yet, but that's a lot better than cold calling and prospecting cold. It's a lot better than that cold lead handed to you.
I'll tell you something that is parallel to what you talked about here, and what we're really talking about here is these are just human beings connecting, building trust, and helping each other grow their business. And there's lots and lots of ways to do this, but this person, it's someone that I'll tell you about when we're done here. But one of the things that I do at business relationships, there's almost always a beginning and a middle, and at some point they end. Right? So that ending for me for a long time has been really, really important. I love good endings, right? Because what else I found over the years, I've lived long enough, is that ending a lot of times means just for now, right? There may be something behind this. So to that, in that spirit, what I've always told people that when we've ended this is people I work with, like when we end on good terms, I always just say, hey, listen, Jerry, here's my commitment to you. You ever need to call on me for something, to give you a reference or step up for it, I'll do it. I don't care what's going on, I'll do it. And over the years, I've had people have called me up and have said, hey, do you remember telling me this? I say, yeah, and they say, well, hey, can I still call on you? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I've delivered 100% of the time, right?
Agreed.
So this I thought this bit me one time, right? So this individual, I hadn't talked to her in probably been a couple of years, and she sends me an email, and she was applying for this job, and one of the things that this guy wanted was some references, and said, John, I remember you told me this, and I would really appreciate it, and I know I'm catching you cold, but if you could get this out the door today, I would really appreciate it. I got this. I mean, like my heart sank, because I had 12 hours of work to do in a 5-hour period. Plus I'd made this solemn pledge to this person to do this. And like, if I'm gonna write a letter like this, just an email, I'm not gonna dash it off in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3 or 4 drafts and spend some time. And I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, this could not have come at the worst time, right? So I'm sitting there just, feeling like my brain swell up. And then shows what a pro she is. Then right behind it, get an email, and she sets off, John, you've been such a good friend to me. It's so good to me over the years. She says, I know you're going to think this is presumptuous, but I wrote your letter, right? She goes, if you want to throw it in the trash, you're going to hurt my feelings. You can edit it at will. But again, this is a big lift. I just want to try to make it easy on you. I looked at this letter, Jerry, and I'm like, I can't improve on this. This is great. So, took out the edits, signed my name off to it, and I sent it, and I thought, this is why she is great, right? This is what made her great. So, of course, she got the job, nothing I did.
Right.
just her own moxie. And, you made me think about that earlier when you used the word train. I mean,
Coach and trainer.
That's what she coached me up here. Yeah, and I'm telling the story 15 years later.
It works, makes it easy.
It sure does. It sure does. So, so tell me, in the real world, or the world that you occupy, pick one of them here.
Sure.
Is what's your weekly schedule look like with your outreach and your follow-ups and your meetings in regards specifically to referrals?
So I'll expand on that. I'll do 2 worlds just to help folks out there.
Is it for the folks out there, or is this for me?
For both.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We're going old school, new school. So in my days of selling to businesses, right? You think your selling hours, whether it's 9 to this or 8:30 to this, whatever that is. So I incorporated in networking around that. I don't want to go to a networking event at 11 a.m. That's killing my sales time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of opportunities for morning mixers that are used between 7 and 8. So it's a great way to, it's once a month, right? So I can kick off my morning with that. And there's plenty of opportunities at 5 o'clock and after. So it doesn't interfere with, like, let's call it your day job, right? And it's a way you can expand your network to get those referral partners. And those referral partners, at the end of the day, when I was in business sales, I would have had an IT company in my community, both big and small, because certain customers want to work with the big. Certain customers are cash strapped and they want to work with the guy who'll work at nighttime for cash.
Mm-hmm.
So I had both styles. Same way, here's a payroll person, here's a CPA. Here's someone that does this other type of repair business to business. So I had a network, again, all in verticals I called on.
Yeah.
Therefore, I could reciprocate. At any given time, my customer would ask me, Jerry, do you know anyone who does this? Yes, I do. Lead by example. Let me call them for you. That way I'm training my potential partner, right, on how to send me leads. So flash forward today in my world, right? So I recruit sales offices, agents all over the U.S. So I have to prospect. Got my day job. So I'm prospecting through LinkedIn and social media, finding people and reaching out, making connections and phone calls, just like sales and calling on businesses. Except now I'm calling on people or offices. Same process. But I still have to incorporate networking. So attend industry shows.
So you don't even count as your LinkedIn as your networking then?
Mm-hmm. And
wow.
And then attend networking shows in our industry, work the room, work the after hours. I mean, activities, some of my biggest groups I've ever signed happen like at 11 o'clock at night, talking in a hotel lobby or the hotel restaurant, hotel bar, whatever it might be, where people gather around. And again, it's easy to find a friend, and we can spend all night long catching up, but you know what, that didn't add to my paycheck.
Yeah.
So for selfish reasons, it's great to see that friend. Hey John, we'll catch up in a little bit. Good to see you, pat on the back. I gotta go work the room. Again, I'm doing something my competition's not. When I was in sales, merchant level, out feet on the street, whatever you want to call it, I was doing something my competition typically was not. And then when I worked and tried to train sales agents coming up, teach them to do stuff like this, their competition is not.
Yeah, gotcha. I hadn't I thought about it. I threw that LinkedIn thing on you, and it's really it's networking, but it's different. It's a different context than the bounce items you talked about today.
Not as cool as my Rolodex.
You roll in, I could make a case that LinkedIn is in fact networking. I mean, Jerry, that's a majority of your day is networking and following up and on that. Yeah, that's interesting. So, once you have that first meeting, let's pull this back to networking here. Is that how do you keep momentum going? Because people they selfishly they go to sleep that night. They don't remember the conversation as well as they should have, and maybe they forgot about like a commitment to follow up with you the next week. How do you catch that moment there and stay with it?
Yeah, so a couple things. When we do set that appointment that we're going to talk next week, I really want to do a good job of setting an agenda after, let's call it after the sale, a post-sale experience, right?
Yeah.
So hey John, just a reminder, next week we're going to talk on Tuesday, 3 o'clock. I'll be calling you. Hey, I get life happens, Can I go ahead and give you my cell phone number? So in the event of, you got a way to reach me. You go with that. Oh yeah, I'm great with that. Let me get my number. John, do you mind if I get yours? Same thing. And we can get hold of each other when we're at each other's time. Cell phone's a commitment, right? It's one thing to have a business line or your extension, because you cannot answer that. But the cell phone, they're going to see it ring.
Yes.
You can text, right? It's a commitment. I've given you my personal number. They've given me theirs. So that helps validate what's going to happen next. People still might forget. I mean, life happens, right? But at least you do have one extra step to try to make this appointment much stickier than what it was without it.
Right.
People do get busy and life does happen. So just because you have that meeting, they might totally forgot. I'm guilty of that sometimes, right? We're doing 50 things at once, and all of a sudden you're like, what? Now, who? Refresh me on that. It happens.
Right.
And so that's where your commercial comes into play. Hey, John, if you remember, we were talking at the networking event last week, and I was sharing with you why customers work with me. They were experiencing. Oh yeah, I remember that, Jerry.
Very good, Jerry. I loved hearing you talk about this a couple weeks ago, and I love hearing you talk about this some more today.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. I'm glad I can shed some light. Again, I didn't create this. It's a mixture of years of experience. But
you put your own flavor in this stuff.
I got a little bit in
there. Yeah, you got your 7 herbs and spices
I
there.
do. Exactly.
It's a great topic. It never goes out of style. It's always relevant. We've got a few minutes left here, Jerry. Are you fielding personal questions today?
What are we going to do, John? Obviously, there's going to be some.
I didn't hear a yes there.
Sure.
I understand you have a background in wrapping gifts.
Oh my gosh, yes. How did you learn about that one? So,
I have sources.
Yeah, so at the young age of being in high school and working in the mall at a retailer, and the late hours they have and trying to get extra hours and some money, you volunteer for things. And I found myself doing gift wrapping sometimes, of which I did not know how to do, but I was professionally taught.
Wait, so you were getting paid, but you volunteered for the job?
Yeah, it's extra hours.
Oh, gotcha. Extra hours. People don't even know what that means today.
Well, whenever you're a kid, you get gas money, going out money, you gotta go to work.
You gotta have the extra hours.
Gotta go to work. So no, it was a neat experience, and this day I can wrap gifts very beautifully.
Yeah, I met your mother before. Does she appreciate that about her son?
So this holiday season, I'll have a table and kiosk set up for extra money here at the company, and bring your gifts over to me. I'll wrap them. Tips are acceptable. Bow or no bow, do you like ribbons? What kind of card do you want on it?
Can I be one of Jerry's kids?
You may.
Okay.
I don't know, but tape and scissors can be dangerous.
So did you get trained on this?
I did.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
There's a system to it. But you can't waste paper.
Really? That's a concern, huh?
Much like in the fast food business, and everything's allocated. What goes on a sandwich, for example, there's allocated what goes in a gift wrap.
Wow. Give me, I know there's a lot of people that don't watch this on YouTube, so they're not witnessing. They can't see your hands and the skill of the great gift wrapper here. But are there any kind of tips? We've got holidays coming up on us here. Anything you can share?
A good pair of scissors, scotch tape.
tape.
Don't go for the knockoffs.
Yeah, it doesn't stick.
Yeah, you need good tape, good paper.
Good paper, really?
Yes, and a wide, flat work area.
Okay. Standing or seating?
Oh, you have to stand.
Okay.
You have to lean into it to do it
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Get the creases and stuff.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And everyone in your life will be so much happier at holidays with things like this.
So I'll tell you a quick gift wrapping story,
Yeah.
and I brought this up because I actually had a gift wrap experience. I've actually paid to have exactly one gift wrapped in my entire life.
Exactly, which is
Right.
why holiday season, I'm gonna have a table right down the hallway.
For Jerry's kids.
For mine, I have a jar, and because holiday seasons kind of gets
Yeah.
slow sometimes in sales, and so to make up the extra money, we offer gift wrapping service.
So I can't wait. I'll bring some for you.
Yeah.
But here
I had my little hat,
was it a holiday hat?
I was.
Okay.
Very festive, John.
So I had bought my wife a gift, and I kind of sort of knew what I was going to get, and so I bought it at Dillard's, right? And I knew going in there, this was kind of it was the anniversary, it was a little special gift. I'm going to pay to have it wrapped. My wife's about presentation. I don't know what presentation, right? So I find out it's like $25 to have this thing wrapped. I couldn't believe it,
It's
right?
a racket.
It is a racket. So I'm in a hurry, right? So the lady that sold it to me, and I said, hey, I want to get this wrapped. And she goes, sure. And Dillard's, they're big on that customer service. So I said, well, hey, listen, I'm on a time crunch. Could you? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll walk you up there. I'll get you at the front line. I mean, she's pushing all the right buttons. So we get up there, and they were like short a person. Another person didn't feel well. Another person was on break. And so this lady goes, well, and she's nervous. She's nervous, right? So she says, hey, listen, I did this for a while, and I went through the training, but I'm not that good at it. Since you're in a hurry to get it out of here, I'll do this. I said, okay. So I'm watching this poor lady work, 5 minutes past, 10 minutes past. So 15 minutes in, it still's not wrapped, so she takes it apart and starts over.
Oh, no.
Right? And I'm going, and it looks fantastic. It's the most beautiful package I've ever seen.
I can help her out.
So we go through. So she starts over, and dude, I am dying. I'm like, I'm behind, and she's so nice, and I'm smiling, but inside, I mean, I'm just going, please hurry up. The first package looked great. She gets this thing done. It's just a work of art. And I pull my credit card out, and I'm thinking, she's probably gonna charge me like $50. And she says, sir, I can't charge you for this. This is just not up to Dillard's quality, and I just got to give it to you for you. So well, you got to be. Can I get tip? Oh no. There's no way I'd accept a tip from you.
So speaking of tips, again, being
You have one for me.
being a high school kid, that was a cool thing because I got my very first tip. After getting wrapped, the lady tipped me money, and I was like, "Holy cow, that's cash!"
Did you accept it?
Like, yeah. Going out tonight.
Of course.
It's a Friday night. I'm going out. Got places to go and things to do with it.
As you do.
Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Well, Jerry, I appreciate you coming on the show. As always, you're relevant, you're fresh, you bring great energy to the show.
I love it, John. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I appreciate you coming. So, hey, you guys, that if you don't follow Jerry on LinkedIn, he absolutely kills it on LinkedIn. We could have a show just about that. But hit Jerry up on LinkedIn and just see what he is doing. And I'm telling you right now, it's amazing things. I will see you back here on Friday for Get Your Mind Right Mailbag Edition. But until then, for Jerry Faith, I'm John Johnson, and get your mind right.